What's happening, guys? We are back at it again with another episode of Beyond the Game with yours truly, Juicy J. All right, so guys, you know the vibes, okay? Before you do anything, okay, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe, right? And comment in the comment section. Engage with us, okay? Let's have a good time together, okay? Today, my energies are very high. Despite the fact that Kaizer Chiefs won the Nedbank Cup final last week, okay, I have a true legend sitting next to me today. You know what I mean? My current coach here as well. Imagine, Mr. George Lebese. How are you, my brother? You good?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
Hey, man, listen, I am so excited to have you here, man. I think, when we met, I was like, you know what? I need to have you here. I need to find a way to bring you here. But I didn't know how we're gonna really hit it off engage because we're at work. So but I mean the energies were really high. I think also the work part, it really brought us together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Your energy is always high.
now you know.
Yeah.
Listen, because the Chiefs won, bro. Nedbank Cup final. Man, I was so excited. I was doing a watch party actually here at Temple Luxury Restaurant downstairs.
Yeah.
And listen, bro, we had a really wonderful time. And I don't know, I never felt like this for any team in such a long time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you haven't celebrated in a long time. So it's understandable. We're all proud of the team. We're happy that Kaizer Chiefs finally won a trophy.
Bro, I didn't even know it was 10 years. I even forgot that,
I think the last time I was there, left with the trophy.
That's
how long ago.
How long ago?
Yeah, so I'm happy. I'm happy the guys managed to get a trophy finally.
Man, that was long, bro.
Yeah.
Listen, I just want to start with just taking it back for a bit, for the viewers and probably myself. I think, but by the time I got, to know you, as a Kaizer Chiefs star, I think my dad at the time was still, someone that was like, hey, for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I think for them and myself, let's take it back for a bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's take it back to, the humble beginnings, where George Lebese grew up. You know what I mean? How was it like growing up for you? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Very humble beginnings. Soccer has always been my passion. I had no plan B. I didn't play any other sport except for soccer. Never even tried. So I grew up in Mamelodi. Obviously, home of another team, another good team.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. I think I was spotted at an early age, but typical black boy from the hood, and people coming to my house and saying, "No, he knows how to play. He knows how to play." So my parents didn't believe it. They always push the education part. I need to go to school, leave this place, go to school. But I always find myself, ditching and somehow going to training, But yeah, until at an early age of 15, they started taking it serious because people couldn't stop coming and say, "Look, give this boy a chance, get him somewhere." But they didn't do anything about it. I had to push. I pushed myself. I went to trials. I remember at some point where, Coach Rolani. Yeah. Coach Rolani was at, I think it was Silver Stars at that.
Okay.
I went there for trials. As a kid, 16, 17, I went there for trials. I'm hoping to get a shot. I didn't get onto the field. They just made me watch the kit and pack the stuff around the field. I came back home very sad. That's how bad I wanted it. But because I needed to, keep going, don't stop. And fortunately enough, I was spotted. I played for Acadia. There's a good coach called Nico Fisher.
Yeah.
He helped make me become who I am today. He was a father as well. So I used to play for him a lot. He took me to, it was called Master Rangers. We went to Acadia, then the big shot came. Bobby spotted me in Mamelodi.
Yeah.
And said, nah, you have to come for trials. Because I've been lied to so many times, man. I couldn't even believe it. Because I spoke to him on the phone.
Yeah.
He didn't come. He was on the phone. And then someone told him about me. And then he kept on hearing about me a lot. And then that's when he invited me. He's like, look, there's so much noise about you. Come through, man. Let's see what you have. Imagine the Kaizer Chiefs. Not even, I didn't start at Free State Stars. I didn't start at Golden Arrows. He said, straight to Chiefs, come Naturena. And that's how everything started. I got a shot, went to Naturena, got to the gate. When we got to the gate, they said, no, we don't expect anyone. I'm like, what? We're already here. Like, I mean, what do you mean? We have to turn and go back to Mamelodi.
Yeah.
On our way back, Bobby calls again. It's like, no. There was a misunderstanding. Come back. Damn. You should have seen the relief. I was about to cry at the back seat. This is not happening. But then we got a call. We went back. Machine was the coach at then. I got my weeks of a trial. On the third day, I was told, nah, you need to sign. That's in a nutshell how it all happened.
Bro, that is massive, bro. So you mentioned that, your parents, just like all, parents, especially African parents, hey, bro, listen, push school first. The sports thing is not going to work for you. So then when you went for those trials, like, did your parents know, or like...
They knew. The challenging part is I was supposed to write my finals for matric. It's the same week then I'm going for these trials. So that when it happened is I set them both down. I said, look, this is only one shot. I'm only gonna get this one shot. I can't, because they were pushing for me to wait for after the exams.
The exams, okay.
So I was like, during these exams, what if they find someone? I can always go back and write my matric, but I can't always go back and play for Chiefs.
Okay.
So I set them down and I told them, look, please just let me do this just one time. And if I fail, I'll come back and I'll study. I'll do whatever that you want. That's how they let me go. And third week, I didn't go to school. I was busy at Kaizer Chiefs. I was like, I'm not going at all. Look, it's not a good thing, I can't really push that because education is very important.
Yeah.
But it was just that one shot I had to take. It was a gamble.
And I like how, at some point at the end of it, you and your parents came to an agreement.
Yeah. I came back with a contract, which is what I had to do. That was my part. I told them I'm coming back with a contract, and I came back with a contract. And good things happened, They were very disappointed in me. But when I came back, I came back to the house and I told them we're going for a meeting in Naturena, in the offices. They couldn't believe it. They had to put on, my dad had to put on a suit. He doesn't like suits. Put on a suit. My mom is dressed like, we're going there. We're signing a contract today. Couldn't believe it until we're in the offices. And they asked them, like, okay, did you guys finish paying the bond? They're like, no, we're still, They're like, okay, your bond is sorted. Through this guy's money, we're not going to give it to him. We're paying the bond, and then he's signing for us. Boom, just like that. They couldn't believe it, man.
So how old are you now?
I'm 18.
Woo!
18. I'm still a kid.
So, like, now, obviously your family is ecstatic. They, like, our child is doing this thing.
Yeah.
And your friends, the people like us in your neighborhood, how did they feel about that? I'm sure they were also just like...
It just happened so quick, man, for them, because they didn't know what I was doing then, especially my friends that I was playing with at that time.
Yeah.
Because most of the guys, we stay in the same neighborhood, so we played for Arcadia. So they went to a tournament that, like, they represented Gauteng. I remember I didn't go to training that week. I was busy with going to trials elsewhere, So they were scouting for players. So they came and then they took I think 5 of my friends. And the tournament was showed on TV. And I'm telling my parents every day that I play with these guys. We're seeing them on TV. I'm like, oh, that's my friend. We're seeing them. They're showing the tournament. So my dad is looking at me like, okay, I can hear you say you're playing with these, but why are you not there? You here?
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, I didn't go to training that week. He's like, you're lying. You're not good enough. I'm like, what? I was not in training.
You're not in training,
yeah. So I went back and I tried to get into that team, but it was already late because the tournament had started. So when they came back, I was obviously disappointed. When they came back, I was starting at Chiefs. So it's like, how? Now they're like, how is this? And then next thing they heard was that Chiefs paid actually to get me there. They paid. It was It was a lot of money for
Yeah.
a development team,
Sure.
but it was not much for a team of Kaizer
Okay.
Chiefs. It's like, what was it? If I'm not getting the numbers wrong, like 1 point something, 1.2
Sure.
mil,
Okay.
which is a lot of money for a player that you're bringing from an amateur team.
An amateur team, yeah.
So they paid that. That's how everything went smooth. They let me go. They gave me my clearance. And like, okay, wish you all the best. Then I started Chiefs.
And then starting at Chiefs, 18 years of age, before then, did you have any players that you're also like looking up to? And you're like, oh, flip, now I'm here with this guy.
Yeah. So what happened is, growing up from Mamelodi, obviously, I was forced to support, Sundowns.
Yeah.
My dad is still a Sundown supporter.
Yeah.
So I was taken to those
Even when you played for Chiefs, you were still a Sundowns supporter.
No. When I played for Chiefs, there's different stories.
Yeah.
Sometimes you learn how to fall in love, with certain things. So growing up, Sundowns, supporting Sundowns, taken to Sundowns games. And I remember when one of my mates, Kune, was on fire and playing Sundowns, where he got he stopped 4 penalties, I think, at some stage, and then they won the trophy. So I'm looking at this guy on TV at home. In a couple of weeks, I'm in training with him. I'm like, damn, nah, this can't be true. And quite funny, he looked out for me as well. Because I'm still a kid. I'm in Joburg, have never been in Joburg. I'm alone, all by myself. And then he's there, and then there's a point where we had 2 sessions. I have nowhere to go. So he took me by hand. It's like, look, come, man. Let's go to my house. Let's play some FIFA.
Yeah.
Chill there, have second session. I went home, couldn't believe it. And then we started being mates like that. And then the legendary Thabo Moki also.
Oh, man.
So he's also like a Grootman. So he looks out for me as well. Still in touch till this day. So those are the people that really showed me around and took care of me until I got used to being a Chief. And okay, now I'm here, So that's how I was welcome. And obviously, I can't stop mentioning Bobby. Bobby is like a father. That guy, I'll keep on saying, man. I can never thank him enough.
Yeah.
He did everything for me. Everything, literally by hand. Spotted a place and say, look, you're gonna stay here. This is a transport you're gonna use every day. Like he literally, took care of me. So that's how I was at Chiefs.
Bro, that is massive, and I can only imagine the high caliber of a team like the Chiefs, and that's been like that for such a long time.
Yeah.
This team would, in history has already achieved so much.
Yeah.
It's a very big team,
Yeah. History.
And the following is massive.
Very big.
You can see how these days, when a huge player probably goes into a new team or a big team.
Yeah.
They received by the club, but also the fans.
Yeah.
With you, how did the pressure of being received by the Kaizer Chiefs fans relate to you, or didn't you feel it that much?
Look, I mean, I grew up there, so I didn't have that pressure coming in as a no one. So I grew gradually, into being known and into familiarizing myself with the supporters.
Yeah.
Until I started playing, I had already knew what's like to step in the field.
Yeah.
Because all of these fans, look, when Kaizer Chiefs loses, it's difficult to stop at a gas station. You don't want to do that because they'll go at you.
Really?
Yeah, you're making us lose. Hey, you can't go outside when Chiefs loses. It's difficult. But on the other hand, when it wins, you're a king. You're a king. Everyone just praises you. Oh, well done, guys. We love you guys. So that's the pressure.
Free meals at restaurants.
They do that. Literally. Yeah, they do that. Chiefs is a big institution. And, happy that the happy days are back. So,
and in your sporting career, what would you say was like your best year? Like your favorite highlight year.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this time was really good.
So leading towards our first league title, I think that was 2012, 2013. Our first league title. The team had gone through a drought, like the same like now what happened.
Yeah.
It was a couple of years, and then the team invested so much, and they brought all these superstars they came into the team. But remember, I was still growing, learning my way around the culture, how Chiefs is as an institution. And to have to win a trophy with so much investment made, okay, personally for me, that was my best year. Because I remember when the then the new coach, Stuart Baxter, came in, he literally told us, look, guys, what I'm trying to make us be will never take a season or two. It might take 3, 4.
Okay.
So I need you guys to have the patience. We're building something. And he won it on the first year. Couldn't believe it. He won it on the first year. We had a great run. We won 2 trophies that year. We won the league and the cup. And yeah, I think for me that was a special year because we wanted the league. We've been winning. We won Telkom after that and all these trophies. But what we wanted was that league because Sundowns was still Sundowns, and we're still going against Sundowns.
Yeah.
To have to win it then, it was something special.
Damn, man, that's truly massive. Man, I mean, Stuart Baxter. That guy.
Great.
I think for me, when I saw him, I was like, oh, this guy is the real deal. Just by looking at him,
He's a good human.
It feels like whenever he's standing, it's like he's thinking of something. You know what I mean? Even if it's not working,
he's a good human. He takes it beyond soccer, beyond the field.
Yeah.
He really wants to understand. Are you okay? Like he wants an emotional good player.
Okay.
Because once you emotionally you're stable, you perform better. So he looks out for that. His man management skills are top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, with you being an athlete, and obviously the pressures of being, a professional athlete, how did you mentally deal with those things?
It's difficult, as what I call myself now, from a pro, is that when I look at all these other guys and I see some of the things and how they react, it's because I understand and I've been in that position.
Yeah.
So we have other players, Chiefs, score a goal and then cry. You ask yourself, this is the point where you need to celebrate. Why are you crying?
Yeah.
Because there's so much emotions that you keep to yourself. You expect it to be strong. You expect it to perform week in, week out.
Yeah.
You expect it not to be a human being. You expect it to just every day just deliver.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. You're a human being and you go through trials and tribulations of life, And sometimes it's good to speak, sometimes it's not. Because sometimes you want to be professional about everything. So it's just being mentally strong. Try to speak to those that love you, but mentally just try to be strong and stay in there. Because what I can advise to some of also the other guys that are coming up is that it ends. At some point, it ends. So you need to enjoy that pressure. You need to enjoy the criticism. It ends. When it ends, you miss that.
It's quiet. Yeah.
You miss that. It's quiet. Right now, I'm living my life peacefully. No criticism, nothing. Only those that say, oh, okay, you left Chiefs and went to Sundowns. Little bit of noise, which I'm used to, because I went on to other shows and I tried to say my story of what happened. And not everyone is going to welcome that story.
Okay.
But now I need to move on. I need to, that's why now I can easily wear the T-shirt that says, I'm a supporter of this team. That's not me trying to go back and do anything. It's just me being a supporter of a team that I love.
And obviously there's a story there. You know what I mean?
There's a big story there.
There's a big story and there's a big connection.
Yeah.
So, you can't just, it's not easy to just let that go.
Spending almost 10 years there, man. Those people were family, some of them I still keep in touch with.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can't throw 10 years out the window.
Out the drain.
Nah, you can't.
I get it, especially the pressures of, trying to even be a pro athlete. And I can imagine how difficult it might be as well to even maintain it when you're there.
Yeah.
Did you perhaps had any moments, in your career that you feel like, or before maybe your career hitting, that you felt like, damn, if I wasn't lucky enough to survive this, my career either would have stopped here, or wouldn't have even began.
Yeah, I had that transition, and that's why my spirit animal is like what do you call it, an eagle. because of the lifespan of an eagle.
Yeah.
At a certain age, an eagle needs to go away, knock its beak against the tree, just to a new beginning.
Yeah.
So what happened at Chiefs, because I was there for so long, I started being familiar too much with the place.
Okay.
And Coach Steve Kompela always like reminded us when he had a period there. He said, "Don't get familiar with this place because you're gonna become mediocre. So once you start being familiar with something, you no longer like respect it or cherish it." So it got to a point where I started my little bit of misbehaving at Chiefs, not putting in effort.
Okay.
Late nights,
Yeah.
normal, like I'm a teenager. So late nights. I had two of my mates. We were playing there together, so we were a group of three.
Sure.
We always used to celebrate whenever we're not in the team. We were happy. Yeah, that's who we were. You know, that's life. We were growing up, so we used to celebrate. I didn't push much to be in the team. I was just happy at being at Chiefs, getting my salary, having a car, good, my house. You know, after training, when I go to camp on Friday, I know they're back on Sunday, so it's my weekend off. Parties, you know.
Yeah.
So we used to do it like that. Then they set us down. The coach set us down and said, "Look, guys, you need to decide if you want to be rock stars or athletes, because we need you guys to come in, but it's like you're never going to be ready."
Yeah.
So I was one of the three. So unfortunately for my friends, then they decided to let them go, because after that talk, I toned it down. I was like, nah, I can't do that.
To change.
Yeah, there's people I left back at home that are expecting me to do good things, so I can't mess this up. So I decided to tone it down, started focusing on wanting to play. I got an opportunity. We're playing Vodacom Challenge against Tottenham, the famous goal, so where I scored that goal. So everything started changing from there. They started, because obviously the millions and millions of fans of Kaizer Chiefs started asking the coach, why is he not playing? Because he scored. Like, why is he not?
And he scored against Tottenham.
Yeah. So I started playing then. Then I changed my life. So that's where I think God was with me then. It was a cutthroat moment. I don't know what could have happened if they had let me go.
If they had let you go.
Because you go through mental, stress, and it's either you come back from that or you drown. Or you drown. So that period there where they set us down and it spoke to us, that's what mentally I think changed for me. It's like, look, no, I'm not gonna be happy about being here. I want to contribute something. You want to leave. Yeah, all I can control is playing, and then as a group we need to win something for this team.
Yeah.
So I started playing. Unfortunately, the years gone by, and then we won trophies. The next year we didn't win, and then the following year we got back our trophy from Sundowns. So, and then after that, then I left Sundowns. So that's what happened.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my moment, man. When I look back and say, nah.
How did scoring against Tottenham feel like? I mean, it's,
I don't know. You need to find a clip of that goal and put it as I explained this.
Yeah.
Because I was kicked in the head as I was scoring. Because I kicked the ball, I was tackled. So when I fell, I was kicked on the head. I felt nothing. I'm telling you, I felt nothing.
Was it a game for you, or did you continue playing?
No, I went to go celebrate because I scored. So my energies were so high and I couldn't feel anything. I went to the line, I started dancing.
Yeah.
After the game, I had a cane. Then I was like,
hey,
I got hurt.
There's a huge bump in
but
the head.
They kicked me then when I scored. So that's how big it was. And they celebrated. The stadium was full. So it was a big goal. And then we went to the final. I think it was against Pirates. And then that game, I didn't play. So the coach apparently wanted me to be humble because I thought I had arrived. I scored against Tottenham. I'm playing next game.
Just leave that shit.
I didn't even play, bro. Not even in a starting lineup. I was so mad at him. That's when I started. I want to go. This guy doesn't respect me.
Yeah.
And money made me run. I was running. The coach is Vladimir Vamezovic, Serbian. They believe in hard work, bro. I was running. They used to sit in the middle of the pitch and we would run around. So he'd look at us and say, George, I say, Coach, he said, are you tired? You feel like dying? said, yes, coach. He said, run more so you die quicker. Oh my God, I'm like, this man. I used to be pissed at him.
So you die quicker, run more.
Yeah, so run more so you can die quicker. So you don't stay here the whole day.
Yeah.
So it was a joke for him, but wait, man, we were pissed. We were pissed. Most of the team, we were not happy about his training methods.
No, I mean, I think those type of moments, I mean, with every coach, I think it's very different.
Yeah, different.
You know what I mean?
Coaches.
So with you, well, speaking about coaches, like with you, in your career, who would you say was like, okay, this guy, you worked with, and he was, I'm not going to say like your favorite, but propelled your training abilities to another level.
Yeah.
Not just only what he transferred you to be on the field, but also mentally.
Yeah.
And also just as a human being. You know what I mean? Just
I think it's an obvious one for me. It's Stuart Baxter.
Yeah.
Stuart Baxter. I haven't worked with him because I remember my change and transition into becoming this big player at the team happened when he stepped in. So he helped me figure out my style of play, and he nurtured that. And we always spoke. I remember I had an off-the-field incident where it was all over the papers, and he sat me down, told me how this is life. You need to be strong and then learn from it as well, So he helped me become this person that I am. But mostly, I worked with also Coach Pizzo.
Yeah.
It was a short space of time. He's a good coach. He's a great human as well. It's just that his obsession. Sometimes he deals with players. Players are different.
Yeah.
You might take me being hard on you. You might take it as motivation.
Okay. Yeah.
But some of the players, when I'm hard
on them,
then it's like you don't value.
You don't like them.
So players are different.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that I had with him that I feel, was not right then. But other than that, he's a man that's obsessed with the sport, a great human being. He wants what's best for the player.
Yeah.
It's just that the transferring of the message to the players, sometimes he gets it wrong. Yeah. But otherwise, for me, those are two great coaches I worked with. Also, Steve Kompela. He was like a father to me. We spoke a lot. We still do. But we had a problem because he didn't play me when he was coaching me. So that was the only problem. But other than that, those are, to name a few, those are pretty good coaches.
Yeah. What did you do?
What do you mean? Not to play?
What do you mean? No. I think you mentioned there was an Alfred incident that stood.
Man, it's relationship issues, man. I had a problem with my relationship back then, and obviously it came to the public.
Okay.
So
was it a public relationship? Or?
Yeah, it was. It was bad, man. It was bad. It's something I don't like to speak about as well.
Yeah.
Because I think people also forgot about that.
Oh, okay.
So it's just an incident that happened, and we learn from it. We grow, as humans.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. I didn't even know that you.
That's a good thing that you don't know.
You were that type of guy. Yeah.
What guy?
The ladies guy. Well, I can see the tattoos.
No, not the ladies guy. I was never the ladies guy, man. I tried, at least I did what I know, So I've always been in relationships, long relationships.
So transferring to that, then what would you say was probably like your lowest moment?
Sundowns.
Really?
Sundowns was my lowest. I took time to recover from that. It took me probably 3 years to recover from that one bad year. Season.
Yeah.
Or soccer season. Because I came in at a big team, high profile players coming in, contribute with all these stars that are there. And things switched up, man. For some reason, I don't know. That's why I say man management is very important.
Yeah.
Because I'm a type of player that I want you to explain why you're doing certain things to me.
Okay.
Why I'm making you train like 5 times a day because you want me fit. Okay. I'm comfortable in training 5 times a day. I'm not going to question that, but I need to know why.
Yeah.
But some people, when you ask them why, it doesn't sit well with them. It's like you're questioning my authority or something like that. So it was pretty bad. It was a pretty bad spell to the point where I sat down with the president of the club then, Mr. Patrice Motsepe.
Yeah.
I sat down with him. I asked him to leave. I'm like, can I go back? Because I knew Chiefs fans still wanted me back because it was still fresh.
Okay.
So I wanted to go back, and then obviously that's not going to happen. That's not a good financial decision.
Okay.
Because remember, they bought me, they invested so much, they can't
Sure.
just let me go back there for free.
Yeah.
You know, I sat down with the coach and I told him, Coach, look, it's not working. Between you and me, let's be honest, it's not working. And I don't think it's going to work. So I have limited time to play this game. And I'm getting into my 30s, 30, 32, 31. Let me go now and secure like a 4 or 3 years contract somewhere else. Be happy, you know, and I'll forever respect you. I was never let go. Never. I sat in the stands at training. Imagine like we training, there's 11v11, same players, same team,
Yeah.
and I'm on the bench. I was like, have I become this bad? Like, am I bad as a player? I started questioning a lot of things. So that spell, that period, I stayed home. I started staying home. It's like, I'm not going. And no one called me. No one called me. No one cared where I was. You know, I was at home, depressed, closed the doors. I didn't want to see anyone. I was let go at the last day of the transfer market. At night, I remember I was with my agent.
Yeah.
At night, that's when I was told, now you're free. You know why? Because I couldn't sign for anyone else. The transfer is shut.
Bah.
That's bad. Because now I had to stay another 6 months without a team.
Without a team.
Yeah. So I stayed 6 months, and then that's when the America deal came through, and they called me, come play.
So in that time, well, I assume that you probably didn't play much games and
Sundowns, no. Way less. Less. I remember at some point I came in, starting lineup, I scored. I was taken off halftime, told that fitness, you need to get you fit. I scored. We're leading 1-0. We lose that game 2-1. And I was, when I look at the interviews, and they were saying I was tired. I said I was tired. And that's not what I said. So you can understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a bad spell. Emotionally as well. But, you know, I learned to accept that, okay, it has to happen to someone. I mean, can only be 11 that's playing.
Do you think that was just like one of those, just a bad season for a player?
Yeah.
Or it was just like, you just went into an environment where you were just like, not valued or not seen? Or it's just a thing of, I don't want to say conspiracy, probably like an issue, or, you know what I mean? Or could have been about fight tired, you know what I mean? The type of feeling. Or is it just like,
I mean,
how did it feel to you?
It's a bit of everything, I feel like I was not valued. I was not given an opportunity, maybe, or I was not ready for that challenge, because it is a huge challenge to play for Sundowns.
Yeah.
Imagine having 30 players, all international players, stars, superstars. So to come in and fight for your spot in there, it's also it's demanding, it's challenging. Remember, I come from an environment where I was one of the superstars. It's not everyone. Yeah. So coming into a superstar team, you need a different mentality. You need a different mindset to know that look, it's no longer that a comfortable space. Here we're gonna have to fight. Was I ready for that challenge? That's another thing you can ask. Maybe I was not ready. Yeah.
But I think also with those types of setups, maybe I think even for the coach, it's probably like an easy job, in the sense that I don't really have to do much coaching here, because it's already a superstar setup. Right? These people are probably leaders in their own individual ways.
Yeah.
I just say, as a coach, what I expect from them, and they go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
So I don't expect to have now someone that I have to
baby.
baby
You know,
or coach or be like, you know what I mean, or push. Do you get what I'm saying?
you always need that. I think you always need that as a coach. Players are not the same.
Yeah.
It is a well-oiled machine that's running, there. But you always need to check your car.
Yeah.
Is the steering
Yeah.
fine? Is
Yeah.
the whatever? Is the lights all working? You always need to check on that, regardless that your car is a fully functional machine. But you always need to check on that. That's how simple that I can put it, And it becomes difficult also for them, the coaches, because their job is on the line. If they don't win, it's a problem. You're expected to win. At Sundowns, you're expected to win every game. They won the title 8 times in a row now.
Yeah.
They're expected to win it the 9th
And the
time.
9th one, yeah.
They're expected to win the 10th. So it's always going to be like that. Always, expectations are high. I mean, they're high as well as Chiefs, but at Sundowns, I think they got rid of a coach while being number one. It shows you. It shows you the demand and what they expect. They don't have time to wait for you to get back on form. You see as off form? Okay, let's get someone else. That's what happens there.
And that must be hectic, I think that must put so much pressure onto an athlete.
Yeah, it is. Apparently, I think is it Sundowns? I think they got a psychologist. I think they're the only team that has that, because of realizing the importance of a player that is mentally stable. He performs at his best. So I would advise all the other teams to do that as well. It's a good investment for the team.
Your psychologist was probably a quota in the kasi.
Yeah, man. My psychologist were my friends. And then also, bad advice. Let's just chill. Tomorrow we're not going to training, man. That's therapy that you go through. And it's wrong, It just messes you up. There's a lot of players also going through that. So just suggest, man, get back in. You only have like a short spell. Come on.
Yeah.
12, 15 years max.
And the thing is, it doesn't seem short when you
were in it.
When you're there.
Yeah.
When
you think it'll never end. What you think is that it's not going to end, but it will end. What are you doing? What are you doing with your life while you're in it?
While you're in it.
Yeah. That's what separates,
Yeah.
A typical player with your Teko Modise.
So when you were still in your prime, did you ever think of, hey, let me look at securing my future after this in this way? And what steps did you take to do that?
I had a conversation the other day with a friend of mine, and he was asking me, like, what are your managers doing? Like, someone that manages you, what is he doing? I'm like, he manages my contract. That's it, nothing else. And that's not how it's supposed to be. That's why when you have a kid like me from Mamelodi, doesn't have so much knowledge about your investments, you need a manager that's going to look after your career and after you, But most of the agents, what they used to do is just collect the paycheck and they're gone. They're gone. So you need to start planning your life after football at the beginning. We want to plan life after football at almost the end. That's where you see like, I'm getting 2-year contract, 1-year contract now. It's bad. I need to make fast moves. You make investments, harsh ones, and then you lose money here and there, So just need to plan properly, invest in the right things. We were told that invest in property. You know what we did? We bought ourselves houses. We stayed in those houses. We thought it's investment. It's not investment. I'm staying in that house. I'm paying for it. How is it an investment? I'm not getting money from it. So those are the advices we needed. Like, look, when I'm saying buy property, I'm not saying go buy a house and stay in it. I'm saying buy flats, rent them out. That's property investment.
Yeah.
But we didn't know. So financial advice is still a big problem in soccer. It's needed. I know how it works in rugby because I've never heard stories, or maybe the media doesn't cover that. I've never heard stories about a rugby player struggling after rugby.
My brother, you go back to school.
See.
I think, I think most, it's either you go back to school, go find a job somewhere. But I think there's also, I think before we started, I told you that, with rugby, there's a camaraderie that you like you build with, the players that you play with, the coaches that you coach. Because sometimes even probably if you don't play like professional or semi-pro, and you play for the clubs, those guys that own those clubs probably own like a business somewhere. Do you know what I mean? It's either
but how do you get that business somewhere?
Let me say, for instance, for example, maybe I have a club, right? This is my rugby club. I'll call it whatever club it is, right? But also, I also am the owner of Build It somewhere, or I am a farmer and I have a farm. You understand?
But my question to you is, sorry to cut you, how then do you get that? Like, as Sia, you come through from university, you start pro rugby, you come in already thinking about, I need to have a business.
No.
How do you, that's my question. How do you then channel your mind?
I think it's like with any
personality,
any athlete,
in
any field, right? It will depend on who probably is in your life, who's mentoring you.
Manager.
Do you know what I mean?
Agent.
Either that, but most of the time it's not even the agents. You know what I mean? Because as you said, the agents are just there to just get.
Then why have it? Why not
cut,
do everything yourself?
Get their cut and get you into all these teams or whatever, negotiate your contracts. But for every athlete, this as well. I think we're always told, listen, focus on your studies as well. Focus on your books. You know what I mean? Get something, or especially with this, with the Varsity Cup. It's always advised that, hey, play Varsity Cup, get your degree, because at least then, by the time that your rugby picks, you probably have a qualification. So you have something to fall back on. Should you now try to go reach for the stars and something happens and you don't, right? Most players sometimes will not have that or will not take on that advice because you're young and whatever, and you feel like, hey,
background as well.
Exactly, you're getting all this money, right? And then when you do fall, luckily you probably find the person that you're probably playing for, or the person that was supporting the team, right? Or you find that you went to a traditional old boys school or whatever, right? The people that know you and that supported you, like, hey, bro, come work for me here.
I think those are the privileges in rugby that you'll never find in soccer.
Do you know what I mean? Come work for me here, right? It's like maybe you were this phenomenal soccer player, right? Instead of being dragged online, that, now your career is done, the money is finishing, right? Instead of being probably dragged online by someone that probably watched you and you probably inspired their kids or whatever, they're like, hey, bro, listen, come work for me.
Yeah, that's a difficult one.
Let me give you a job. Do you know what I mean?
How many of those people are there? There's very few of them. And also, to correct what you're saying also, is most of the soccer players, if you look at them, they come from a poor background.
Sure.
As an 18-year-old, for example, 18-year-old George, you're expected to be the breadwinner. Now you signed a contract, you must be a breadwinner.
Okay.
And they didn't find me at varsity. I don't come from varsity. I don't have financial education. And here am I getting a salary. So that's what I'm saying. Maybe financial management. I know Kaizer Chiefs once introduced financial advisors to come in, which was difficult because most of the guys, you do it after training. After training, you start the car, go. We don't want to go listen to you speak about, I must save 80% of my salary. No. So, which is also, I say, players' problem.
Okay.
Because their advice is there.
Okay.
And we didn't take it, So I think it must be installed more because there is good salaries in being a soccer player.
Yeah.
Management
and managing of those things, because also, I mean, you can imagine, you know what I mean?
The mentality is different.
And all of a sudden, there's this huge chunk of money
Yeah.
in your disposal. You know, it's sort of like a thing of now I can do all the things I've been dreaming to do.
Yeah.
You know,
You're not thinking.
there's this. I want to impress this. I want to buy this type of car
True.
and all those type of things. It's sort of like playing in the NFL.
Yeah.
You know how someone
Well managed.
These NFL guys sometimes they just blow their cash. You know, because as you said, it's not even about taking my family out of the struggle.
True.
I'm not even playing the sports to me to play to probably even enjoy it
Change
and
your situation.
do you know what I mean? It's just a matter of I need to get there.
Yeah.
So that my situation at home can change.
Yeah.
And that's a different, when you come from that type of, mentality, it's different.
It's different now.
Because as you said, you're like, hey,
become less.
you don't even have a point, as you said, when you started, you said soccer was your plan A. You didn't have a plan B.
Yeah.
That's true. You don't have anything else to fall back on. This is you. That's why when an injury comes, that will probably frustrate you even more.
Yeah, because you want to be in the field.
Because you want to be on the field. Because if you're not there, you're not playing, you're not paying you.
I get you.
You were living with your mom, your grandmother, there's 18 people in the house. They look up to you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's true.
That can be very different.
Pressure.
And the pressure can be very different from that. Man. So now, life after football.
Yeah, life after football. I'm not interested in becoming a professional coach.
Really?
I don't have the personality and that drive.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna lie to myself about that. But I'm interested in becoming a pundit.
Okay.
Become an analyst. I'm working on sharpening those skills and hopefully at some point get an opportunity somewhere to become that.
Yeah.
Also working on my clothing line. Still cooking something.
Come on.
So I had my first batch, did some couple of mistakes, gathered information. So now I want to do it right.
Okay.
So that's my main priority right now.
Sure.
Yeah.
And how's the transition been? I think from that day when you found out, okay, now I'm not going to play again.
Now I'm done.
How was that? How was that feeling?
It's difficult. It's different.
Last one now.
It's different because now when you're playing soccer, soccer spoils you so much. Everything comes to you. You don't need to go out and look for anything.
Yeah.
If you want something, you just call, comes. You want anything prepared for you, call, comes. So now you're at a point where you need to go. And like you say, after football, if you have a qualifications, you need to look for a job.
Yeah.
And I feel like some of the people, because you've been a superstar, it's so embarrassing for you to.
Oh,
so, they don't want to do that.
Okay.
But sometimes that's the only option you have to surviving, living the life that you want, So it's just the transition is very big. It's very big. Now you have to go knock
on doors.
Hello, can I get some of your water and sell it?
Yeah.
Oh, they open the door. Oh, superstar! And you looked at a superstar like, why would you want to sell water? Because you want to live. It's no longer the same.
So long
the
as the
salary is not coming in. 80% no education. So it's just how many ex-pros that are coaches now? It's a lot, but not all of them are going to become,
the
top level coaches.
Yeah.
But it's a way also of surviving. And some of them they do it for passion because you love the sport so much. But some of them it's just need salary.
And tell me, do you think that maybe some former pro athletes that were big stars that probably need to okay, now I need to probably go get a 9 to 5. Do you think maybe some of them that probably don't is it a matter of pride? Because
most of the time,
because now you're used to your name being praised.
Yes.
And now all of a sudden you probably feel like if you get a 9 to 5 or something, it's like you've downgraded. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I did. It's a pride issue, man. It also happens with, for instance, your car. You're driving an X5M, boom, contract ends. Why hold on to that X5M? Get a smaller car. So that transition, and that's what people most of the time are finding it difficult to get it right, because you just want to hold on to something that's no longer there. Change that car, man. Get a smaller house. It's fine. It's life. It happens. And then you move from there. You get a job. You get a salary. You do some things. But some of the time, most of the time, I don't understand. Maybe it's the pride issue. Maybe I don't know, because I wouldn't have a problem with downgrading anything because of now. Situation is no longer the same, So I think the pride issue sometimes happens, but most of the guys really do shuffle their life, and you see them like progressing. And this person is still doing well. They're good. Yeah.
Oh man, that's really, because I can only imagine, bro. Because even like personally, I would say, I always think about it. I'm like, damn, when people start to,
harsh reality.
Look at you this type of way, like, oh, see ya. It makes me so nervous, because I'm just like, yo, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
I'm like, damn, because things are always going to be like this. And you know what we always told about, fame and the big lights and all the type of stuff, because I mean, the lights are going to be on, but Escom sometimes you load shedding.
What do you do then?
That's
the thing. That's what most of the guys should prepare themselves for. What do you do
when the lights are dimming, bro?
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's not even a thing of your probably time is up because of age.
Yeah.
It's injuries. You get a permanent injury that takes you out.
That's a very difficult situation. That I know one of the players that suffered a major injury that they couldn't play anymore. So how do you advise him? He must go hustle. How? So that's a difficult situation, and that's when you need your team and everyone that's got a high position to really support that, because you can't do anything for that. Like, you can't do anything to correct that.
What's the greatest thing that or greatest lesson you think sport and being an athlete has taught you?
I've never had that question before. I think my biggest lesson is to be here and now, and to be really in the moment, and cherish it, because like I say, it ends. So cherish the moment that you're in, and it happens in life as well. Whatever you got going on, just cherish it. Be in that moment. Yeah.
Man, that's powerful, bro. I think, for me, sport has probably shaped the type of young man I am. In just terms of, being disciplined, falling and getting back up again. You know what I mean? And just also being like a good human being. I think you know this.
I know.
Sport is one of those things that it brings us together. We might be rivals in terms of supporting different teams. When Kaizer Chiefs and Pirates play, it's heated. But at the end of it,
you're all human, man.
We come together. We watch games together. So I don't know, even the feeling of gas, when there's a big game, playing, neighbors are sharing things. Do you know what I mean? We're sharing our meat, our food, our drinks, and we're coming together. You know what I mean? I think that's a wonderful thing that, I think with sport, it's a forever love that will always
Beautiful
be there.
Thing.
Let's play a game, actually.
Okay.
Are you good with games? You should be good.
Depends. Depends what kind of a game.
It depends. So, I want to take you outside, soccer, because soccer has been your thing.
Okay.
Let me take you. Come to my field a little bit. Come to my field a little bit.
Okay.
Let me take you to. Well, we'll play both, actually.
All right.
So, rugby wise,
oh my
right?
Yo.
Do you know any rugby players?
I'm gonna tell you about old players, but I know some.
Okay.
I know some. Yeah.
Okay, let's
Don't be
test.
too deep. Just be.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
Let's test your knowledge a bit. So,
Okay.
give me with your knowledge that you have,
Yeah.
right? Give me your top 5 favorite
Okay.
rugby players.
I'm gonna tell you about the ones that.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously Sia.
Okay. Yeah.
Skalberger.
Okay. Woo! You know a Scott Burger?
Skalberger.
Come on.
What's this player, man? Esbeth.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, we know Brian Habana used to be my favorite.
Okay.
One more.
Hey, your rugby knowledge is your rugby is there.
Is it Ox?
Oxygen. Yeah.
Those are the few that I can name.
Yeah.
I obviously have a lot more, but I just know the names. But what I can remember now is those are mine.
How often do you watch rugby? Do you?
I watch it more when it's like the World Cup because I know we're good in it. You know? So, but I do watch here and there. The
Yeah.
Blues, obviously Pretoria.
Okay.
Yeah.
You need to watch some more domestic
I do.
games with me.
I do. I have you now.
I'll actually invite you to one
Yeah,
of my
you should.
games as well.
You should.
You know.
You should.
And then going to soccer, right? Doesn't matter. Mix it up.
Mhm.
Okay. Your top 5 best soccer players of all time.
All time.
Is it a different one? I put all time in.
Nah, I'm just gonna name 5.
Yeah.
Not in any order. Dr. Kumalo, Teko Modise. Need to be careful with my choices. Okay. Dumelen Kune.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There's one prize. I almost said I did everything with Chiefs. Gift Leremi. I can go to 6. I can go to 7. But that's a 5. Let me give you that 5.
You're just gonna give me 5.
Yeah, 5. Let me give
I'll
you
take that 5.
Yeah.
I'll take that 5. Listen, man. For any young kid out there,
Yeah.
you know, that is, you know, aspiring to, you know, to step foot in, you know, the path that you've walked, you know, and just generally in life, you know, maybe there's anyone out there that probably just is in a dark place that just needs a bit of upliftment. You know, what would you say to that person? Your camera is right there. You know?
Right there.
Yeah.
Okay, to the kids, wrong camera.
Oh, sorry guys. You know, I love you guys. You know
Wrong
what I
camera.
mean?
To the kids, man, I think chase your dreams. There's never a big enough obstacle to stop you from achieving that. And yeah, man, stay off the bad stuff. Focus on your dreams, because once you get to that dream, everything becomes all diamonds and rosy. It's all a beautiful place that you just need to grind yourself up to that point, and everything becomes rosy, man. I know most of the people are going through difficulties or whatever life, you know, but as long as you wake up every day, there's a chance that you can change the situation. Every day above the earth is a great day. Yeah.
Bruh. George Lebese, everybody. My brother, thank you so much for coming sitting down with me here. I know, I mean, you're a busy guy, you know. Even to get you here was it was tough, you know. See how I'm shooting today, bro. Please, can we set it up? But thank you so much, man. You're a true legend. I'm really honored to really have been
such an honor
able to sit down here with you, man.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I know we have a few work stuff to get to as well. So few exciting things.
Exciting times. I'm telling you. Thank you so much for having me.
Listen, man, to anyone that wants to, you know, follow you, that doesn't know you, where can they find you on social media?
I'm on IG, GL__17. Same with, I think TikTok. I don't control my Twitter page. I left it as a toxic place. I don't want to be dealing with that. My page is still there, but I don't even check it out or anything. So that's the Facebook. I'm on and off. There's a guy that's calling himself George there, giving away bed codes and
really
it's I needed to put it out there. That's not me.
Hey, check out for those back accounts, guys.
So I'm not. Those are my accounts.
All right, guys, and that is it. You have it for our episode here at Beyond the Game. Guys, remember we are coming live to you from Temple Luxury Restaurant, right? Where the food and the drinks are good. Okay. Please make sure before you exit that you like, share, and subscribe. Please make sure to comment. Also engage with us on the comment section as well. Until next time, have a good one. Cheers. Bye.